Is the Sabbath of the land about rotating our fields, or is it a matter of national observance? The Torah commands that we are to sow and reap for 6 years, and the seventh, our land is to cease. It is to have a Sabbath. The word Sabbath, of course, means to cease, to stop. The question was raised, though, what if a person divided their land into 7 different plots, and then they were going through and just rotating through, having each one rest each year? So each individual plot was only going to be worked for 6 years, and then it would rest. Is this what is being commanded? Or is the command broader than this, requiring that all of the land in the entire nation be caused to cease? The text is very clear on this, so let's look at what it says. Exodus 23:10 through 11. In 6 years you shall sow your land, and you shall gather her income. And the 7th you shall release her, and you shall abandon her. And needy ones of your people shall eat, and life of the field shall eat their reserve. So you shall do to your vineyard, to your olive. So for 6 years we are sowing our land, we are gathering the income, and in the 7th we are releasing it, abandoning it, and the needy are eating from it, and the animals are eating what is left of it after the needy have eaten. And we are doing this not only to our fields, but also to our vineyards and to our olive groves. Leviticus 25:3 through 4. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and you shall gather her income. And in the 7th year, ceasing of cessation shall be to land, ceasing to Yahuwah. Your field you shall not sow, and your vineyard you shall not prune. So like in the previous passage, we are sowing and we are gathering for 6 years, and the 7th, there is the ceasing to the land. It is not being sown. And also we are told we are not pruning either. We are not pruning our vineyard during this time of ceasing. Now it may seem apparent already how we are to do this, but this next passage will make it especially obvious. Leviticus 25:20 through 21. And that you shall say, what shall we eat in the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, and we shall not gather our income. And I shall command my blessing to you in the 6th year, and she shall do the income to 3 of the years. If we were simply rotating through our fields and still maintaining actual farming, sowing, and reaping during that time, just having isolated plots resting during that time, this would not be an issue. There would be no question like this arising. There would be no need to ask. But instead, there is this question. What are we going to eat in the 7th year? What are we going to do about that? And the answer is that the blessing, the kneeling, will be commanded, and extra harvest will be given the preceding year. So clearly it is not an issue of just rotating through our fields. It is a national observance. All of the land, every 7th year, is to cease. And this is connected with other observances as well. Leviticus 25:8 and 10. And you shall recount to you 7 ceasings of years, 7 years, 7 strokes, and they shall be to you days of 7 ceasings of the years, 49 years. In other words, we are counting these sets of years, these sets of 7 years. So 7 years times 7 is going to be 49 years. And you shall hallow year of the 50 year, and you shall call free in land to all of her one sitting. She is Yobel, or Jubilee. She shall be to you, and you shall return man to his holding, and man to his family you shall return. After 7 of these Sabbaths of the land, 7 times 7 being 49 years, after that 49 years, there is the 50th year observance, the Yobel, also known as the Jubilee. This is a national observance. It not only affects issues like the sale of land and the price of leases, but it also affects people individually because they are returning to their ancestral homes. They are being discharged from their duties. Their land is returned to the ancestral inheritance, and they are returning home to those lands, to the place that their forefathers inherited in their tribes. So this is a national observance. It is clearly a matter of the entire nation coordinating together in their observance. It's not an issue of each individual doing as they see fit or doing according to their personal interpretation or whatever the case is. It is a national observance. And it's easy to look at the issue like the Sabbath of the land and the Yobel and see that this is how it is intended to be done because it's very explicit. But the other commands, many of them are just the same. They require a coordinated effort. It is about the entire nation observing it alike. The Torah is intended to be the national law for Israel. It is the law for the nation, just like any other sort of national law would be. And the people are expected to be following after that national law. If it was just an issue of people following what they thought was the spirit of it, or how they personally saw that they were going to apply it, then there would be no way of enforcing it as a national law. The Torah is the law for the nation, and the Sabbath of the land is for the entire land, for all of the people every 7 years. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out some of my other videos on other Torah issues, and be sure that you stay in touch so we can continue this discussion. Thanks for watching. Remember the commands. Shalom.